What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and today is going to be another episode of our Unsung Uncommon series where we're going to be taking a look at an uncommon champion that can do a surprising amount of work in the arena. We've had the other two episodes showing off Satyr and Saurus, of course, so I thought we would do another episode. It's been a while since I've had a chance to kind of sit down and do something fun like this, so let's go into the index to start. We're going to go into the Orc faction, and the uncommon champion we are talking about today is Throatcutter, an Orc attack champion. You can see here she has an A1 that attacks the enemy 2 times, and she has an A2 that grants an extra turn if the target is killed. As you will see in some of the arena footage we're going to show off, this is a very hard hitting ability and allows us to take advantage of that A1 and get in some extra damage. So pretty simple but kind of cool kit for use in the arena. Let's go ahead and go in, and before we start this, as I always like to do, I will take a look and show you the Great Hall. She is a spirit champion, remember, so some of that is going to come into play. We are going to pick up some attack there, some extra attack stats from that, in addition to some extra crit damage, so that's going to be helping our build out just a little bit there. Now let's go ahead and go into our champions. We will go down here, and she shouldn't be too well. Maybe she is a little bit far down here, but here we go. Now, for parts of the video, she's going to actually be in a Relentless set that I cobbled together. I had to take some pieces off of Still, some off of Draco, and off of Ninja, I believe. I put all that gear back so I could run Clan Boss, so this is kind of just the normal gear set I usually run her in, and the numbers are pretty comparable, basically the same, still get the same results. Just when you have her in the Relentless set, it can be really cool because she can proc extra turns and kind of snowball, and that's why I kind of jokingly refer to her as a budget Rotos, because, you know, one of the cool things about Rotos, if you have him, is he'll get a bunch of turns in arena, he'll kill a bunch of people before the other team even gets a chance to get going, and you can kind of do the same thing with her, which is really kind of neat because she is an uncommon champion. Little disclaimer though, I always like to say, I know a lot of people are, you know, mid-game, early game, coming up with their account. I'm not suggesting you go out and spend the resources on building up an uncommon champion to level 60, fully ascended, investing, you know, in their masteries and everything. This is kind of something fun I like to do since my account is in a state where I, you know, have the resources to do this and can kind of goof around a little bit more with the game. Like in the case with Saurus, who's actually right next to her here, that actually is something you could use long-term as a campaign farmer, so not a bad idea there. But something like this is a little bit more niche use, like in the arena. You're probably going to have a better champion to nuke and hit hard, but this is kind of just to show off this champion, give a fun little showcase of an uncommon champion, since a lot of them are overlooked quite a bit. Now, we have her just in some basic gear. We have one set of perception that was, I think, mainly to get some speed in because it had the crit chance stats that I needed for crit rate. We've got her in crit damage gloves here, basically what we would try to do with any hard-hitting champion. Unfortunately, we only got her to 96% crit rate. Another reason I like to kind of do these and show off the results is that you can achieve results even if you don't have the most amazing end-game gear. I think this is kind of a more budget, realistic look at it. In my case, it's like I farmed Fire Knight until I'm blue in the face. I just simply do not get good Savage drops. And if I do, they're always the top 3 pieces. I can never get a bottom piece to drop that's got good stats. And I didn't have the Cruel gear really to put on her either, so we're missing out a little bit there with being able to ignore some of that defense, but you're still going to see she hits really, really hard and is able to overcome that pretty easily. Take a look at the masteries. You'll also notice we don't have her in Helm Smasher. That's going to, you'll kind of see that come into play as well. We just took the crit damage plus 20 because we were having a little bit of a problem getting over that 200%. And we can kind of show you here her basic skills. You know, we've got 96% on the crit rate, 221% on the crit damage. Getting plus 30 from that mastery, plus 15 from the Great Hall did help out quite a bit. And again, you know, attack's only about 30, a little bit over 3,500 there, so not amazing stats. The gear is not crazy good, so when you see the arena showcase, it'll kind of give you an idea of the potential that is still there, because you're going to see her A2 just hits crazy hard, even in this gear, which isn't that amazing. She's able to do quite a bit of work. Even with that. So there's a lot of room to grow with this. I'm hoping that down the road somewhere I can actually get some really good Savage and Cruel gear to stick on her, because I think she would be really, really exciting to try out. Or if we can get her into a good Relentless set where we don't have to take it off our other champions and pair that up with a 2-piece Cruel set, I think you can get some good results out of that as well. But let's jump into the arena, take a look at what she can do, and then I'll give some final thoughts. Alright, we're going to jump right into arena with this poor Yoshi as our first example. Going to show off Throatcutter's A2 and just how hard it is capable of hitting here. Gratuitous death, you'll see here, big shot for 114,000 damage on the Yoshi. Of course, we're going to be pretty strong against the Force Affinity. And in this next match here, it's kind of fun. This is where I was kind of talking about the budget Rotos. You're going to see her get a couple of turns here and basically take out most of the enemy team. She's going to hit a big hit there on Ursula, get her extra turn. Now she does weak hit here on a lane with the A1. Remember, it is not fully booked. Also, magic is strong to spirit, so we don't get really a lot there. We almost do kill a lane, but we do get the extra turn to proc from the Relentless gear. We will get a chance to go and take out Chinaru, and then she will get another extra turn to proc, and we will go and finish off the Elaine this time. So kind of just an idea of the cool stuff you can pull off with this champion. Of course, Ithos got to come in here and just smack everybody. But this is with her in the Relentless gear. And like I said, the A2 or the A1 is not fully booked out yet. There's still 4 books of damage missing out of there. And I think once that's booked up, her damage potential on that A1 is going to be a lot better. Now, when she does hit critical and hit strong, I've seen that to hit anywhere from 50 to 60k, which is pretty decent. But the A2 obviously is the big hitter on her kit there. You're just going to see some matches here. We're basically going through, just showing how much damage she's capable of doing, especially against some of these Force champions. You will see quite a bit in the arena. You see there 110,000. And then we come up with you see that's right there. You had the A1 there. If that had been fully booked, that definitely would have finished her off. The other thing too, we're not in Savage gear, not in Cruel gear. This is kind of just my budget gear I was able to put together on her just to get her to that 100% crit rate with a decent amount of crit damage. But still coming in here with some big shots, 119,000 there on the A2. And then we'll go ahead and one-shot the Deacon here. So a lot of fun using this champion in the arena just to kind of goof around with. Again, I'm not suggesting you run out and 6-star your Throatcutter, but it's just kind of the fun stuff you can get into. You know, when your account gets a little bit later in game and you're able to come in and build out some of these more niche champions just to have a little bit of fun, be a little bit different. You know, I've seen some people do some videos with Sniper doing some pretty crazy damage in the arena, but I wanted to do something a little different, find a champion a lot of people maybe not we're not thinking about, and I saw Throatcutter's A2 and was thinking, you know, if this thing hits hard enough, you've got a chance where she could really snowball and take out a couple of enemies in the arena before they really get a chance to do anything there. Of course, we're going to get some weak hits in there. We're going up against some magic champions. Wanted to just fully test her out. Fortunately, we do have Lydia here, so she is going to block those revives from the core grab. Nothing really to worry about there. You could replace Lydia on this team really with any decreased defense. I was going to run War Maiden here just to be a little bit more, you know, free-to-play friendly, so to speak. But my War Maiden is in a stun set, and I really didn't feel like re-gearing her to get her speed tuned for this arena team. But you can see there a big shot of 131,000. And again, she's just taking a bunch of turns here. Just really kind of fun to take out 1 or 2 champions with her before your main damage dealer has to go. If there's a really annoying reviver on the enemy team, you can just go ahead and one-shot them before they even become a problem. And I would really be interested to see how much damage she can actually do with that A2 once I get her into some better gear. So that's definitely something we'll probably take a look at in the future. You know, if Fire Knight's nice to me and gives me some actually good Savage gear, we may try to rebuild her at some point and get her into some higher damage gear. But, you know, just a very hard-hitting champion, able to take out a couple of guys here. And then obviously we have Ithos coming in there with his big shots. But just having a lot of fun with this. I like doing this type of content with the game because it's kind of neat to just take these champions no one really thinks about and do some cool stuff with them. So we're going to step out of the arena now, and we're going to go take a look at her gear and finish up this spotlight. Alright, we are back after a little bit of arena highlights there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of that, especially that one clip where she did proc the Relentless and get quite a few kills there. Kind of a fun champion, like I said, to use. Just being an uncommon, being able to get that kind of damage out of her, even though our gear is not amazing. The one thing I did forget to mention right before we went into the arena is that I don't even have her fully booked on her A1. You can see here 10, 20, 35% more damage there that we could be getting off of that. So that would have turned some of those weaker hits where we barely left somebody alive into a guaranteed kill there. And also we are missing a couple of books on her A2. So I think I pulled over 500 mystery shards when I was trying to build her originally, and I just was not getting duplicates. That's kind of the cool thing about uncommons, is you don't actually have to invest your actual books in them. You can just pull duplicates. When I was building my 6-second Saurus to farm campaign, I just kept looking for him in the shop, kept pulling the mystery shards until we got duplicates to build up all his skills. So that's kind of, like I mentioned earlier, just the potential here. Once we get that A1 fully booked up, once we get her in some decent damage dealing gear, I think we could really do some crazy good stuff in the arena with her, and I just think it's kind of fun to be able to go in and do this type of thing and show that she can hit extremely hard against some champions there in the arena, especially if you're looking for a really hard single target hitter against some of the force champions, like a Rector Drath you might find a lot as a reviver on some of the defense teams. She can go in there and just wipe her out in one shot, getting those big hits for 110 to 130,000 damage. So overall, just a really fun champion to kind of goof around with in the arena. And like I said, don't run out and build yours just because you watch this, but if you do have the resources, you are later in the game and thinking about trying something out, it's always kind of cool to go in and do this kind of stuff. It's one of the things I really like about this game. There's just so many champions, and a lot of them that sometimes don't get looked at or don't get used at all. And I like being able to go in and find that little niche champion that I can kind of build up and have a little bit of fun with. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, if you have any questions about anything that you saw here, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.